Hi everyone, I'm back with another movie review tonight. A couple nights ago we did one of Elvira's second movie, Haunted Hills, which I gave an 8 Spiderwebs to. I really like that movie a lot, and as you know, it's been getting a pretty good response on my YouTube channel and Facebook pages. Tonight we're gonna, as I promised you a few nights ago, I promised you I was gonna do a review of her very first movie, Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. Now, this was their very first one. I think this came out in 1996, if I'm correct. 1996? That'd be about right. And this one, of course, has Elvira, Cassandra Peterson, of course. And, of course, this one is pretty straightforward, goofy, slapstick comedy, that kind of stuff. Same as the Haunted Hills, basically. But this one just takes place modern day. And so this one is, you can see the cover right there. See if we can get the reflection off. There it is. Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. That's what it's called, by the way. There it is. Okay, there's the back cover of it. She's lounging right there. Damn, she was smoking hot. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. She is just so smoking hot, friends. She's such a beautiful woman. And like I said a couple nights ago, I love the way she dresses and the way her makeup. I like the whole Elvira personality. I think it's just fantastic. I've been a fan of hers forever. At least as long as she's been doing it. And I'm not even sure how long she's been doing this. Oh, God, I gotta find out. Anyway, this is a movie we're going to review tonight. The very first one from 1996. Now, this one is, like I said, it's modern day. The other one took place in 1861. It was like a throwback to like the Mel Brooks Young Frankenstein type movie, and the Vincent Price, Roger Corman type movies, House of Usher and stuff like that. This one is modern day, like I said 3 times already. Anyway, so this one, she's basically doing her show. She actually plays herself, and she's doing her show in some kind of a little, it's in Kansas or something, in some kind of a radio or a TV station or something, You've seen her TV shows before where she's sitting spoofs the really bad movies from the last 20, 30 years, all those crappy movies that you would never watch unless you're absolutely bored out of your gourd, So what happens is, so the station, her ratings are kind of like plummeting a little bit. And so the station is bought by this big, creepy Texan guy, man. And he thinks he owns everything in the radio station or the TV station, including Elvira. And, of course, he's coming on to her. He wants to meet her because, he's heard a lot about her. He's seen her TV show on his new station, TV station. So... So he's trying to come on to it. He's like a reject from the Hee Haw TV series. He's just a big old heavy fat dude, man. He looks like with the cowboy hat on and like a Western accent. Like cowboy accent. And of course he's coming on to her, and she cannot stand this guy. Of course, it. Yeah, she's got some great lines towards him, man, and I can't remember exactly what she said. He says something to her, that he deserves to be in bed with her or something, and she goes, and she just knocks him into this desk that's in the studio. It's like a fiberboard type desk, or whatever it is. It's basically, he just goes crashing down on it like he's like 350, 400 pounds, man. And of course she quits, she goes back to, she just quits, because she doesn't want to take that kind of crap from the new owner, and so she goes back to her dressing room with her manager in there, and it's all played for laughs again, folks. If you've seen any of the other stuff on TV or movies, it's all played for laughs. It just makes fun and pokes fun at everything possible, and she makes fun of herself too, and that's what I like about Elvira. She's basically, I'd like to be her friend. I think she'd be really a great person to be friends with. She's just wacky, over the top humor, and sexy, and and she's very provocative, and she just loves to exploit her image, which is really cool. Anyway, so what happens? She's in her dressing room. 10 minutes after the movie starts, and of course her manager's in there. He just gets a telegram from someplace in Massachusetts. She apparently has this great aunt that passed away, and she's part of the inheritance. So, of course, she looks right at the camera and goes, boy, isn't that just fantastic timing? You know, of course, she could get like, you know, maybe she's dreaming of like a $50,000, $100,000, you know, stuff like that, you know. She has all these visions in her head of what's going to be in the will and stuff like that. So, you know, of course, it turns out kind of decent, you know. So she heads back to Massachusetts, and unfortunately, where her great aunt or her auntie lived, or wherever she was, some distant relative, it's in this really conservative backwater town. You know, everybody dresses in, you know, their pretty clothes, and they're all groomed, and you know, they go to church on Sunday. You know, and they don't like any kind of like sex education or nothing in the schools. They're completely conservative beyond belief. The whole town, you know, they're just waiting to get. They're just waiting for somebody like Elvira to come in and just open up their world, you know. And of course, that does happen eventually. And of course, when she first gets there, you know, she pulls into the main street, you know, with her black convertible. You know, they're all just looking at her like, what the hell is this? You know, because they never seen anything like that in their town. You know, they kind of live like Leave It to Beaver type of you know, Leave It to Beaver type of community. You know, really everybody you know, obeys the laws, and everybody basically, like I said, goes to church. They all do all that kind of stuff. You know, they don't swear or you know, stuff like that. So she rolls into town, and she basically just, hey, don't you think I'm looking really good tonight? Look at these muscles, folks. I am Spider-Man. Look at this. Look at this, folks. Look at this. This is Spider-Man. Hey, I'm sorry. I have to put a plug in for myself now and then, you know? I got to do this because I just feel like I am the man. You know? Anyway, back to the movie. I like to have fun with these reviews, you know? It's one of my favorite movies, too. Both her movies are really fun. Anyway, so of course, you know, the whole town just wants to get rid of her, including Edie McClurg. She's like the town matron. Oh, they just all hate her. You know, she has a hard time getting a hotel room, you know, waiting for the inheritance to be read, you know, the will to be read at the courthouse and stuff like that. So, you know, they're all shunning her and everything, you know, and except the boys in the town and the men in the town just love her, of course, you know. But all the women are so jealous of her because of the way she looks and the way they look, you know. So, and she's trying to be cool and everything. She's insulting the town at the same time, you know, and they don't like her, man. They don't like her at all, you know. It's like, to me, like, well, then why don't you people move out of the town and let her move in and take control of the town? That's what I would say, you know. Anyway, so what happens is that I lost my train of thought. Well, anyway, you know, so she goes to the courthouse maybe a day or two later to hear the reading of the will, and of course there's her great the housekeeper, her husband. They're part of the will, and then they're her uncle. Apparently, she's related to the guy, and he's actually a sorcerer, a warlock. We don't even know that till, you know, partway through the film, that he's actually a warlock, and he wants to get his hands on something that she has in her inheritance. So basically, she gets the house, her great aunt's house, the dog, and this recipe book, which actually has ancient spells and stuff, because her auntie or wherever she was a sorceress or something, or a witch or something like that, you know. But then her uncle, you know, he gets completely wiped out of the will completely. He gets nothing because he is a creep, a snob, and he gets exactly what he deserves, you know. He's just he's a complete snob beyond belief, you know. He hates her because she got everything, and the housekeeper and her husband got something, you know, like $5,000 or $10,000, and you know, stuff like that. And so he wants to buy the book from her, you know. And she just tells him, okay, $50 and it's yours, buddy. So, you know, her dog actually, maybe partway through the movie, she ends up, well, actually, the beginning of the movie, when he comes over to get the book, the dog actually knows that he's a warlock and he's a bad guy. So basically, the dog hides the recipe book. It's not really a recipe book, like I said. It's a book of spells and chants and all kinds of stuff that, you know, for witches and, you know, sorcerers. Can I even talk? I don't know if I can talk. So of course she wants to sell to him right there in the house, and of course she can't find it. He gets all pissed off because that's the final thing he needs to take control of the world, or the town or something like that. And of course, she has to go and get a job too. Eventually she has to go, door to door to try to find a job because, the house is in ruin. She wants to sell the house, and of course this sleazy realtor comes over, and he's just coming on to her left and right. She just boots his ass out the door. Her dog Gunk, I think she calls it. It's pretty cool. She kind of like punks it out with pink and shaved and everything. And you got to see the dog. Yeah, it's a pretty cool little dog. It's like a poodle or something. She punks up. And that dog knows exactly what's going on. The dog is protecting her in the house, and the slimeball uncle from the book, so, and of course Elvira doesn't even know the book contains all the, that's what the book is all about. She has something much more valuable than what's in that will. She has a book of spells and chants and everything, for, all that kind of stuff for, for ceremonies and, you know what I mean. I don't have to explain it, you all know what I mean, right? So, as the movie goes along, she's basically trying to find a job in the town because she's flat broke, basically. Of course, Edie McClurg is the head matron in the town, and she's putting it, she's stopping Elvira from getting jobs anywhere, or hardly, nobody will hire her because they're all a bunch of witches. They just hate her guts. They want to try to drive her out of town, but of course that ain't gonna work because it all turns out good, as you probably have seen this movie a number of times, at least once or twice, I would think. And so what happens is, she's in love with this one guy, this big hunk that runs the local theater in the town. Can't think of his name. He's pretty good. Everybody actually does a good job in this movie. There are a bunch of well-known faces. They all kind of pull off the roles pretty effectively. I would say that everybody knows what they're supposed to be doing, including Elvira, and so they do a really good job. All the actors are very well done. You'd recognize some of them. They've been in tons of films and stuff like that, like Edie McClurg and the head warlock guy, and all the people you see around town. That come up and actually say something on camera. You would recognize them in other films. They're just B actors, I would say, probably for the most part. And so she decides to light up, or she wants to actually get the old theater. She's in love, like I said, she is in love with this big hunk, and he kind of likes her, and I don't know if he is the boyfriend of this girl, this lady that runs the bowling alley or something, but she's got these phony boobs. They're just like pointers, man. They'll poke your eyes right out. And of course, she doesn't like Elvira because Elvira looks like Elvira, and she kind of looks like herself, And of course, so Elvira decides to basically, get the theater going. He convinces the big boyfriend guy, because they kind of like make out a little bit in the movie, and stuff like that. He likes her because he's never seen anything like her before, and she just likes him because he's big and hunky, And so he decides to play some of her movies, and they have a midnight matinee showing with all the kids come and watch the movie and stuff like that, and of course the town folks, they forbid all their kids to go to the theater at midnight and watch some bad movies with Elvira. Elvira's sitting there sitting on camera talking about how bad that part is. You've seen her shows. And so basically the one witch that has big zoobies, the ones that'll poke your eyes out, pours tar from the top of the ceiling, like on a scaffolding or something, top of the theater. Of course, it splashes all over Elvira, down below, and she's sitting on her bed, sitting on her velvet couch, as she does in her TV show and stuff. All the kids love her, because she's fun, and she's actually bringing them out of their shell and everything, because all their parents and stuff are all basically, a bunch of snobs and, conservative snobs. How about conservative snobs? That's pretty good. And so, of course, the warlock guy, of course, Jeff Conaway's in this too. Remember him from Taxi? I think he played Jeff or something on that show. He was always talking. He was in the garage all the time. Jeff Conaway. He plays the the uncle is one of the uncle's henchmen, along with this. I can't think of the other guy's name. He's been in a lot of movies too, so they're just like bumbling idiots, you know, and they're trying to get the book for the uncle guy. I can't think of the guy's name he portrays in here, the guy that wants to get the recipe book. And so they try to go, you know, break into her house, and they try to find the book. Of course, they can't find it. It's hid underneath the cushion of the couch, you know, and they have no clue what's going on, you know. Of course, the dog chases them out of the house and stuff like that. And, you know, I do like this movie. You can't expect much from this movie. Now, if you're expecting really serious comedy, it's all slapstick, dark humor, black comedy, you know. If you've seen all of Elvira, like I said before, if you've seen all of Elvira's TV show type stuff, you know, when she spoofs all these bad movies, this is exactly what this is, you know, pretty much, except it takes place in a conservative little Massachusetts town. I can't even think the name of the town was, but you know, it's so squeaky clean. It's just completely squeaky clean. I couldn't live there. You know. Anyway, the house that she inherits is run down like, it's actually a pretty cool house, but it's all every house in the neighborhood is pristine. It's got beautiful gardens and grass and white picket fences around there. Whole town is, you know, just like you might imagine it might look. You know, her house is a dump, and she gets all the kids in the neighborhood to paint it up really weird and stuff like that with all these different colors, and it looks pretty cool. So, and the kids, all the boys are just enthralled by Elvira, of course, you know, red-blooded American boys, of course, and men, you know, so, as I am. So, you know, it has a happy ending. It has a good ending, you know. Of course, the warlock guy does get the book, and of course, he's I don't know. I think he's basically trying to take control of the world or something. He's just a great man. Of course, he gets beaten at the end by Elvira and stuff like that, and you know, and along with the dog and everything. And she's being kind of guided by her deceased auntie. I can't think of her name, you know. And I'm not going to give too much of this movie away, but you know, it's got a few good scenes in it, you know. I mean, it's watchable. I mean, I think the Haunted Hills is a little bit better than this movie. This movie is pretty funny, but to me, I think the Haunted Hills is just a teeny bit better. You know, maybe because she does portray herself in that movie too. You know, she likes to play herself for laughs and stuff like that, and you know, that's what I like about Elvira. Like I said before, she just seems like a really fun person. A very smart individual too. Look what she's done with her career, man. I mean, she's done, you know, I mean, God, Elvira, she's so famous worldwide and everything because of her image, her movies, her TV shows, her appearances at conventions and stuff like that. And I mean, she's like a phenomenon, you know, worldwide. You know, she still is. I don't know how long, like I said, I don't know how long she has actually been doing this. But, I mean, look, there's Elvira right there. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh. Oh, God. Anyway, you know, I like this movie. I mean, it's not more I really can say about this movie, except, you know, if you've seen this movie, you will enjoy it. You know, it's not a bad, it's like 96 minutes long, something like 95 minutes long. You know, it's about the same length as maybe her Haunted Hills movie. And, but, like, I'm going to rate this movie right now because, so I'm not going to give every little scene away. I mean, there's a lot of little stupid scenes in there, you know, expect from Elvira and her company. It's written by John Paragon, her writing partner, of course. He did the same thing with her in Haunted Hills, John Paragon. He actually has a cameo in this movie. He plays a gas station attendant when she's on her way to Massachusetts, and he's sitting there smoking right next to a gas pump. You know, he's like a grease monkey, and he's, you know, puffing on a cigarette, and you know, he's leaning up against the gas pumps. You know, it's like, what the fuck are you doing? Of course, he gives her directions to the town that she's looking for, you know, at the beginning of the movie when she's on her way, like I said. And, of course, you know, his whole gas station blows up at the beginning too, because he's, you know, he flips his cigarette, and of course the gas handle fell off the pump, so it's the gas is all over the place, and of course his cigarette ignites it. You know, how about starts it on fire and blows up? Oh God, I'm so enthralled with Elvira, I can't even talk tonight, man. Can't even talk tonight. Oh my jeez. Anyway, we're gonna rate this movie. Now, I gave Haunted Hills. You'll have to watch it. You know, if you like her Haunted Hills, you like this. You gotta have both these in your collection. So we're gonna rate this movie. Now, I gave Haunted Hills, I think, was it an 8? I'm not gonna quite an 8 on this one, but I am gonna go a 7.5, because I just think it's a little lower than this one. Even though this is a more rock and roll type of a movie, you know, and all kinds of weird stuff, you know. The other one's more recessed. I mean, not recessed, but more laid back, like spooky, like I said before. This one I'm going to give a 7.5 because I still think it's pretty close to Haunted Hills, and it's really kind of a fun little movie. You know, I mean, you only watch these movies for Elvira, right? Right, folks? Come on. It's not really so much a script and everything. You just watch it because of Elvira, because she just has a on-screen personality that kind of just draws you right in, you know? Yeah, love her or hate her, you know, she is one of a kind. So, 7.5 on this movie. And I'm not sure what I'm going to review next, but, you know, you guys check this movie out and tell me what you think, you know? So, until then, I got to figure out what I'm going to review next time. I got some really good movies coming up. But it's all a surprise, though. You got to just tune in and find out. So leave your comments, and we will see you next time on this next installment, okay? Goodbye.